All right, everybody, we are live again, back to back. Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru, and I have the brother Kala Thanos on with us. It's been a couple weeks. You know, I've been traveling, just got back from Nigeria. Great trip, got a lot accomplished, got a lot done. So the brother Kala Thanos is on, and today's topic is the internet the death of Black organizations. Now, the internet can be used for, I've seen a lot of good come from the internet, but at the same time,
Yeah, so have I.
I've seen a lot of fuckery
Yeah.
come from the internet.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Kala, go ahead and jump into it. Shout out to Sassy Bliss, who's a new subscriber. Thank you for supporting us, and also shout out to Fafu Malao and Ifa Kimi, my sisters in New York. So go ahead, Kala. Take it away.
Okay.
Kala, let me
Thank
ask
you
you,
for.
Kala, what inspired you to come up with this topic?
Well, a couple things. I thought about the Umar Johnson situation, and what I see is no matter how much Black organizations fail online or be disingenuous, they still around. All they need is the next topic to talk about, and people seem like they have amnesia and they forget. And like I said, it reminds me of a situation I had years ago when I joined. I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. Okay, so but the whole thing, my thing is, we got an echo. Is that your speaker talking
I
there?
don't hear echo.
Okay, I just hear something. I hear some background noise. So anyway, it
Shout
reminds
out,
me
hold on,
of
hold on. Shout out to Brian Cole for the super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you. All right, go ahead.
a couple of years ago when Obama got elected. I remember when Obama got elected, right? There was this movement called the Tea Party. You remember?
Yeah, I remember the Tea Party.
Okay, the Tea Party was basically internet based. It was a hashtag Tea Party, and there was no real message central. But only thing was it was a reaction to the election of Barack Obama. It was disingenuous because they basically was trying to blame Obama with his stimulus package, right, for pulling the government out of the brink of collapse, right? He had to do all these things, borrow. It was like one was the omnibus bill, and the other one was the stimulus package and everything that struck the banks. The total like $1 trillion altogether. It's like 700 billion and another 700 billion. It's like 1.4 trillion dollars, right? Now the previous bill was passed by George Bush to bail out the banks. Okay, that was already earmarked and everything. Even though a lot of Republicans hated it, they said the banks should be allowed to fail. Then they said no, banks shouldn't be allowed to fail. We got to throw them up. So that's what Obama inherited, right? He said, "Carl, you Obama person tonight? You a defender, right? No, I'm just gonna put everything in perspective, right?" So the media, Fox News leading media, the right wing media began to talk about, too much spending, we're spending out of trillions and everything. We're spending all this. And we get back to the main topic of organization and Black organizations, right? I'll show you the parallels. So you had all these groups out here talking about maybe it's time for a revolution. Maybe it's time for, getting on TV talking about maybe we should overthrow people to rise up because we're putting all our future generations in debt and everything. But they didn't say nothing about the debt when George Bush orchestrated the biggest tax cut in history, which blew the deficit, and also the spending on the Iraq War. They didn't say nothing about that. But they convinced the average person that this black man got in office just to rob them of their future. And so you had the hashtag Tea Party movement, hashtag Tea Party movement. One of the things that came out of the Tea Party movement was a resurgence in the neo-Confederacy movement, right? It was like another one that was internet-based, right? Now I was basically nervous during this time period, right? I saw these right-wing groups pop up. The KKK had a resurgence. The neo-Nazis had a resurgence. And then you had the Confederacy organization, which had some legitimacy because you still got Confederate statues, you still got all that stuff in the South, and all they're saying is we're basically only doing what we already have. We have Lee statues, we have what's that guy? Bedford Forest in Memphis, Tennessee, and all these statues and monuments all over South John Calhoun and Charleston, South Carolina. These monuments still stand there, even though a black group bought the Bedford Forest Park in Memphis and tore down the statue. They bought the park, you know. So anyway, but what I'm saying is, then another movement that was really dangerous came out called the Texas Secession Movement. I don't know if you remember that.
I do somewhat.
Okay, now on Blog Talk Radio, right? On Blog Talk Radio, the first month Barack Obama was in office, I tuned into that group, right? It was a bunch of crazy racist people in there, and they insisted they weren't racist and stuff like that. So bottom line is this, and when I was first on Blog Talk Radio, I had a few listeners. I would tune into that chat room, and there'll be thousands of people in there, white men of all different types of education and backgrounds say, yes, we could have this. We can make Austin the capital of our new Texas Republic and all stuff like that. And what happened was, I said, my God, these people are serious. They had politicians and everybody talking about, yeah, they're going to join the secession movement and all stuff like that. And I said, wow, I saw them all over the internet, and I said, wow, they gained momentum and everything. And then after like around 5 months after Barack Obama's presidency, I tuned in, and the same guy is up there on Blog Talk Radio, and he only had like 4 people in his chat. It fizzled away just like that. Why? Because when it came down to actually building this and doing what they said they have to do, talk about they have to get their own militia and everything, they have to get down to the streets and go door to door and all stuff like that. When it came down to actually doing work, they said, well, this is not worth it. It sounded good when you was online. It sounded good when you was on the internet. It sounded good when we're in chat rooms speaking to each other and we're all agreeing with each other. But when it actually came down to doing the actual work, nothing came of it. And so the movement fizzled and died away. Now, that was one movement. That's a white movement. That's a movement with people that have power, they have $1 million donors and stuff like that. Now, take that to a black movements, right, who don't have the money, who don't have the financial resources, don't have the education resources, everything. And they build these platforms and they say, let's join my movement and everything. And what happens is, for some reason, see, white people, if they believe you're going to do something, they're going to carry it out and stick with it. You have groups that's been around for generations. Now, the old organizations in the white radical America, the B'nai B'riths, the Jewish, the Birch Society, John Birch Society, all these institutions still exist because those were traditionally brick and mortar institutions. They had buildings, they had think tanks, they had all these things going on and everything. They had places of business and all this stuff like that. They got their 501c3, they got donations, they got donors, and also like that. They got speakers, they got people who do assemblies and also. So they have a real tangible organization. So they're still around to this day. So
well, let me ask you, Tyler, what about the organizations that did not adapt and utilize the internet to build their platform? You got some
now some of those organizations, right? They'll use the internet to reach more people, but they already have a tangible physical structure. When the internet only enhances that. What I'm saying now is people think they can build an organization absent having tangible, concrete, brick and mortar, on paper, filing offices and all this stuff like that to build, and that's why it fizzles away. But if you're really clever on the internet, you can make it seem like you have that type of organization, and you can go for a long time. But sooner or later, people are going to ask you where this is going.
Right.
And what you have a lot of black organizations will say, well, why are you being a hater and blah blah blah.
Why you asking all them questions? Why you being a hater?
Asking all these questions, man. Why you asking all these questions and whatnot? I think you're a hater. I think you're an agent.
God, that's my favorite. You an agent for asking questions. You want to know where the money's going. You want to know where the money's going. Oh, you an agent.
You're an agent. You're an agent, and that's what's going on in black organizations, right? And tonight I'm here just to talk about that, right? Because in the future, what I want to see is organizations, if they're going to be relevant and credible, they have to move towards the real and the tangible. It can't be like, well, we're going to jump to the end game, but you have to build a living organization that you have people that are doing things, that are involved. And you have to do all those things. You have to do all those things. You have to show people what your end game is, what you're about, and stuff like that, and that you're actually doing something, and you have something. You have a place of business. You have a place of organization. You have tangible things that people can go and relate to. Because what's happening is people. We're so far on the internet that people believe anything they see online. They see anything they see on any hashtag. any meme, anything. They go join organizations and they hashtag and everything, and without actually saying, well, what's this organization about? Where's the headquarters? Who's their leaders at? And the whole thing is the mainstream media, right? Mainstream media does all that because they don't want people actually asking questions and then forming their own real organization on the ground.
Right.
They would love for you to follow hashtag movements and everything because they know that ultimately, even though you have the internet, the mainstream media is what gives it has more authority and has more authoritarianism, and that mainstream media is what validates any movement you have. So anytime you see a movement gain mainstream or get interviewed on the mainstream networks and everything, people automatically say, yes, I was right all along. This movement's going someplace. Why? Because they're meeting with this politician, and they always go. Anytime a movement does not have socialization, right? And they jump right, and they don't have their own economic base or their way of funding itself and everything, and they automatically go to the politics, right? You got a hashtag online movement that's not doing anything, but serving its own interests. If you don't have socialization, people that have brick and mortar and stuff like that on the ground is not a real organization. Nobody should follow people like that. So if somebody's online and you're listening to them, you're sending them your money, they can't show you anything tangible that they have.
Right.
They can't show you anything they have. That person right there is misleading. He'll tell you, oh yeah, 10 years from now we're gonna be here and all stuff like that, and you're following. Why? Because you're giving him his money. He's getting your money from you and everything, and you're saying, okay, I believe this. And people think that they can buy grace and buy salvation, and you can't do that. And then what happens is when people find out that what they was hold, what they was snookered or swindled and everything, then those people come back and they're ready to attack every organization they see.
Right. Exactly.
They're ready to attack everybody. Oh, I was in this. I gave this money to this person. Wow, nothing came
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. And I mean, basically, if you ask, shout out to Laugh Out Loud, Ha Ha. If you question anything, you're considered an agent.
Yeah, and makes it hard.
What? Nipsey Hussle? What you?
Yeah.
Oh, you an agent? You don't believe the government killed Nipsey Hussle?
Yeah,
you an agent?
Our people, like I said, our black people, like I said, the whole thing about white America is they still got their whiteness in America, so they can go in and out and go, okay, I believe that, but I moved on and everything. Black people, we're so desperate for leadership right now. We're so desperate for something that we buy almost into anything. People don't have to prove anything to us. They don't have to say anything. All they have to do is play on and pick on our emotions and everything, and we'll follow it, right? And then we'll basically anybody who tries to give you any reason or logic behind it, you see them as your mortal enemy. Why? Because they're trying to tell you. Now that goes for me too. You know what I'm saying? I was caught up in several movements over the years and everything like that. And I didn't
Kala, which was? Give me an example.
Okay.
Kala, were you a Hebrew Israelite at one time?
No, not that. I saw through that. I started a thing called 10 years ago, a series called the Hotep Shuffle. You gotta go back on Blog Talk Radio and listen to my old shows. The Hotep Shuffle. And I was going in on all these guys I see and everything. They were easy targets for me, But then again, myself, I got caught up in several incidents where as smart as I think I am and everything, I was taken, right? Why? Because I was enthusiastic, and like
was it enthusiasm is the bastard child of exaggeration, or exaggeration is the enthusiasm is the bastard child of enthusiasm?
Exaggeration is the bastard child of enthusiasm, And unfortunately, I didn't learn that until too late. I only learned that term about 4 years ago. Exaggeration is the bastard child of enthusiasm. When someone's an enthusiast about something, I mean, innocently or maliciously, they exaggerate. They exaggerate their accomplishments. Umar Johnson, he's enthusiastic about building a black school and black education. So he exaggerates his progress. He exaggerates his accomplishments. He exaggerated his accolades and his credentials. When you're enthusiastic about something, you tend to exaggerate. You know, you see, and you believe that everything will work out because you convince yourself you're doing this for the good of the so-called people. So therefore, like I said, I got caught up in this. I'll tell my story. It was back in 2012. I met a gentleman online named Devon. 2011. I met a man named Devon Bell. Okay, he was from California, Los Angeles. He was a millionaire, right? And his organization I helped him create what's called the Comedic Pipeline.
Okay.
A Comedic Pipeline, and I did many shows with him, right? And I helped him build his platform, his organization, and I helped him raise money. You know, I'm talking about big money. Okay. What happened was this. So I believed in him. He wrote several books and everything. He's brilliant when it comes to it. And he introduced me to before there was cryptocurrency. He was already on this. You know, electronic currency. He said this is going to be the wave of the future. He goes, Colin, this is going to be a wave of the future. This is how we want to free our people. We're going to be able to issue currency electronically backed by a gold or precious metal backed banking system, global banking system. And then we'll have our own stock exchange. We'll have all this stuff like this. And I said, wow, that's exactly what we need. And we're going to build in Africa and whatnot. He said, not only that, we're going to be doing procurement between African countries. That means if Ghana has extra cement, you know, they're going to exchange it with this country over here. And we're going to, the Quebec pipeline is going to handle the monetary exchange by manipulating currency rates and everything globally and everything. We're able to get prices and everything. And so you're going to see Africans being able to trade and not have to use the European or the fiat currency, right? So I said, man, I found God. It's like I had to come to Jesus moment. I said, man, I found the next, the Black Jesus Christ or whatever, you know? I said, man, Devon Bell, I began to worship this man, you know? And him and I would talk for hours and hours and hours. And he said, okay, I'm gonna make you an agent of the Comedic Pipeline. So he gave me credentials to make me become an agent of the Comedic Pipeline.
And then did you have like a comedic driver's license too, where you could,
no. It was just a badge. It was just a badge, like a badge that I supposedly was able to like get get certain discounts on stuff and everything. Like,
from where?
From every place I say, but none of them ever worked. When I say you ain't got enough money on this, I go try to use it when I ain't no money on. But I even that I said, he said, oh yeah, that must be a glitch, brother. Go to us. And I said, sure, it's probably just a glitch. It's probably just a glitch, right? So, like I said, I'm enthusiastic, so I'm ignoring warning signs, you know. And then after a while, we're doing blog talk radio shows and everything. Like we had a huge audience and everything. We started this thing called, and like I said, it's embarrassing now. We started this thing called spiral funding, right? Spiral funding, right? I'm gonna get into that. It's crowdfunding. And we started that, and we started this thing called the Black Wall Street International. Now, another thing is people always say, "Well, I could design websites." And I'm like, look, I came across the best website designers in the dang world. They can design your website and make you seem like a multi-billion-dollar corporation. That's what we did. We had web designers, everything. A website means nothing. I don't care how well you can design a website and everything. If you have nothing backing it, it means absolutely nothing. I've learned that. I should have learned that over the years, you know. So anyway, we had the Black Wall Street International. We had spiral funding, and then we brought several other people in. I'm not gonna mention any names because one person still follows me on Facebook. You know, so we brought several people in, and they're sincere people. They really love the Black community, and they said it's time to give Black people a break. You know,
man, hold on. My moderators, please help me out. I got trolls in the chat room, so please help me out. And shout out to Travis Irwin for the super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for the super chat. And of course, everyone, again, thank you for joining. Topic is the internet, the death of Black organizations. All right, go ahead, Kala.
Okay. So, like I said, let me close up. I'm gonna look at the chat too. Okay. So, as I'm saying, now I was watching. I saw all this happening. And I said to myself, "Where's my role? Where's my absolute role in this? You know, where's my role in this?" And I I said, okay, the things are going good. We had the spiral funding, and I'm gonna tell you what the spiral funding was, right?
Go ahead. You said power. You said power funding.
Spiral.
Spiral funding. Okay, that sounds like some
In
shit.
other words, basically, what spiral means is if when something spiral, like there's a parable we used was it says circumstances lead to consequences, right? So that can be good or bad. If you create the right circumstance, right, the consequence of that circumstance will lead to this. So the circumstance of having people donate between 10, 20, and $100, whatever a month per month, right?
Right.
And crowdfunding, right? And eventually it'll spiral out of control. In other words, basically people coming in and it's spiraling out of control where you can't control it. There's so much money and wealth coming in, you can't control it. So endless thing, right? So what happened was, okay, we had the spiral funding situation going on, right? And I got a lot of people on there to donate and contribute and everything. And after a while, our goal was to be able to take in $2 million a month in spiral funding, $1 million to $2 million a month in spiral funding. We got up to like around $200,000.
Oh
right?
wow.
In spiral funding, a month, right? We're going out there pushing the message out there because people never heard anything like this before.
So what were you guys actually building, Kala?
Okay, that's the next thing I was going to talk about, right? Now, I sat quiet. The first thing we wanted to do was build, have our own bank, like a credit union, right?
Okay.
The first thing we have a credit union, and then have like a bank, have a bank thing, right? We're funding the bank and everything. The bank is basically the one that's going to be able to issue loans to people if you got qualified business, everything. And so, since it looked all good on paper on the internet, if you looked at the website and everything, you're like, this is something I want to get into. Black people getting money at the time, right? This is before in 2009. There were no really black people investing in Black America. There wasn't. This is before Jay Morris and all these other people that came afterwards and everything. So no one's ever thought about this before. Black people getting together and doing this from like the internet, not like these big celebrities. It's not Oprah Winfrey and everything. This is peer-to-peer investing. Like you say, the Bitcoin is peer-to-peer trading, online trading. This is peer-to-peer investing. The ideas and everything were good, but like I said, the people that were on the top of this weren't really on the up and up. So what happened was I recruited some people, right? One of them is my friend John Sinclair and Deltrick Adams and Brett Forey and Jason Moore. These guys are real good businessmen out of Dayton, Ohio. They're in the Dayton, Ohio area, right? Mm-hmm. And these brothers, right, had their own like Black Wall Street group, right? And I was part of them. And so basically, I said, okay, I'm going to introduce them to Devon Bell. I said like this. So they said, oh yeah, he has a platform. We're going to raise the capital, and we're going to be able to fund their projects. Now, Brett had projects. I'm pleased to say these brothers right now are doing really well in their business financially, so they recovered.
That's good. That's good. That's
okay.
Good.
The one guy, right? This is a hit that. And I was telling Ronald last night. I don't mean to laugh about it. It's funny when I think about it. It's not funny. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny. This one guy had this. Him and his wife had a beauty supply company, right? Mm-hmm. And they were on the internet and everything, talking about, yeah, we're gonna get Black people. We're gonna create a nationwide beauty product supply. We're gonna compete with the Koreans. And then Devon Bell gets up on this conference that we had. He said, "There's no reason why Black people should be buying products and stuff like that." But even though they were importing weaves and stuff like that, and also I don't agree with everything. I said, it's business is business, right? Right. So Devon Bell says, "Yeah, we're gonna put the Koreans out of business. We're gonna put the Chinese out of business in the Black hair care. Right. That's one thing we should dominate the Black hair care market." Well, I said, "Yeah, brother, Black power. Well, yeah, Black power."
All right.
I was sitting on the floor. Yeah, man, Black power, Black power, Black power. Hotep. Boom shakalaka, about it. Hotep. Boom shakalaka. Yeah, we're going boom shakalaka. Hotep. Black power.
Okay. All right.
And so the bottom line is, okay, everybody's all hyped up, right? No one's ever seen Devon Bell's office. No one's ever seen anything like that, right? But on the website, on the website, you know, yeah,
Boom
on
shakalaka.
the website, yo, on the website, he has this big office tower and whatnot, and everything like that, yeah, this big office tower and everything, and so I was like, well, yeah, everything's going good, man, right? Anyway, I let Jonathan Sinclair handle it. I'm still working, and then at the time, right, we created this thing called we had this social thing outside the Kinetic pipeline called Basecamp, right? I helped put that together. That's a really good social, a business social organizing platform, project management program. And so Devon Bell and I were like putting different projects in there as like, okay, the project has a summary. Okay, this is what it's supposed to do. This is what the funding. These are this. Blah blah blah. And then it has to-do lists. It has notifications, updates, and everything. And only people that, like myself, that had the access to see what people were doing in different projects. We had like around a dozen or so projects in there on the project management, right? Problem is, we need the funding. Everybody's ready to go. Everybody got their project. We got this person, they're organizing. And this guy with the beauty aid, man, he actually took out a second mortgage on his house, to meet Devon part way, They were going to create these kiosks, right? That they were going to put beauty supplies and all the stuff like that, and everything. They had suppliers, everything like that. And so, the guy was like, yeah, we're ready to go, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, next thing you know, Devon Bell sort of disappears, right? And I try to call him, right? And sometimes I would call him like 10 times. And I was lucky. I got to the point where after we started taking the money for spiral funding and whatnot, I couldn't get him on the phone. I couldn't get him on the phone. And then I said to myself, something for the greater good. Maybe they're trying to ease me out, whatever like that. Maybe whatever like that. They don't like what. So I thought it was just me, right? And then so what happened was John Sinclair, I said, and then we had this meeting online and a conference call, and then Devon said that he had land in Texas that had oil fields. He said he owned like 4 or 5 oil fields, right? That he needed capital to invest in that, right, to bring the oil up and whatnot. He was going to monetize that, And so we're saying, well, he said when that happens, he said he's going to give everybody, all of us, like $100,000 a piece up front. So we're like, oh man, we're going to get my $100,000, right? So I'm thinking that everybody else got their money except for me. I'm like, okay, maybe they're waiting for me, something like that. Because I said my thing was I wanted to invest in Liberia. At the time, I had Liberians. I put this thing called the Liberia Next Series together, and we wanted to capitalize and invest in Liberia rubber products and everything like that, rubber industry and everything. He said we could do that. And I said, so that was my thing. My thing was Africa. I was focused on Africa. Investing in Ghana and stuff like that. That's what like I didn't really care about all the other stuff. I said, yeah, everybody else did, but I said, look, just save room for the African thing, And they were sort of like vague, they weren't, none of them were really nationalists, whatever, they weren't really, okay, Pan-African. I was the only one, And so all these guys are thinking about building, we could do it right here. Let's build a hood. Let's have black banks and everything. Then we're going to build a black Wall Street. He had the blueprint.
Colin, real quick, not to shift change subjects. What are your thoughts on buying back the block?
Oh, first of all, when you say buy back the block, buy it back for who? You don't have black families anymore. This is not 1940 where 89% of black people were married by the time they were 23. And they were trying to buy homes. They were working, saving, living in tenement housing to buy a home, like my grandparents did in South Jamaica, Queens. You don't have that anymore. Houses nowadays go for $300,000 and up. The only people that they'll give houses to are single women sometimes, single working class women that can get that first initial HUD loan and get a house and move. Like that's what it's built. So when you talk about buying back the block, who are you buying it back for? How are you going to convince people to move back into a community that's neglected? The only people that's capable of building in these black communities are white people. Why? Because they could sell their house. Like I was talking to this white guy the other day. They could sell their house, right? And they could rent out their house in the suburbs, right? Move to the inner city, right? Pay cheap prices for it, and basically have their mortgage being paid and their rent being paid while they're moving black people out one by one, and that's what's happening. So if you talk about buy back the block, Who are you buying black people for what? Only way you're gonna turn a profit if you join the regentrifiers. If you join the regentrifiers, you'll be fine. You know, if you want to just make money, flip properties and everything like that, but you're not going to put black people in those areas, right? Because it's hard for black people to get loans. It's hard for we don't have stable communities of family, and the black people who are middle class don't want any part of being around a poor community. You know what I'm saying? Poor with less services. You know, you can't. You got to walk. You got to drive 20 miles to a supermarket. You got to go. You don't have a gold gym or a Planet Fitness on the corner. You don't have all those things that they have. They're cousins. You don't have gas stations that stay open 24 hours a day. So you don't have all those things. You don't have all those things that you have in the suburbs. So how are you gonna tell black people to go back to there, living in those conditions, and you don't have the resources or the amenities that people have when they able to afford a condo or a house in the suburbs.
Right.
You know? And so therefore, like that. So back to my story.
Yeah, go ahead. Back to your story. My bad.
Back to the story. So what happened was Jonathan Sinclair called me and was like, we got a problem here, right? We talking about? He goes, this is the bomb. I said, I thought you were communicating the whole time. He said, no. I said, did you get that debit card? He goes, they sent me a debit card and the thing didn't work. It said decline, you know? I said,
okay, what was the debit card for?
For all of us administrators, you know, he wanted to give us a debit card that we could use
for
okay. Paperwork, that we could go to Kinko copies and make copies, this stuff, the work we were doing.
Okay.
You know, the work we were doing work. If a company would have to hire people to do the work that Brett and all of them were doing, you know, meeting with people on the ground and everything like that, they know how to do it. The company had to do that. They would be spending millions of dollars up front.
Right.
But this was all voluntary work, you know?
Right.
And so we did all that stuff like that. I put the base camp together, a full plan to build in Africa and stuff like that. Everything from how to do it. I put this thing called EPCOM, you know, that's the 5 elements of logistics, right? I said, this is the things we need to invest in as far as the Kemetic pipeline. Engineering, procurement, operations, the construction, operations, and maintenance. Those are the 5 cores of logistics. I said, now, if we're going to be, and the whole thing was the Kemetic pipeline wanted to have black trucking companies under one program. They want to have black construction companies, black procurement companies, and shipping, importing, exporting, all this thing globally. We were going to create this global platform, you know, out of one website called the Kemetic Pipeline, and also the Kemetic Pipeline social network to link people together and everything globally. And everything. Now, like I said, I modeled the BAIO insight on that, you know, because I think it was effective in that and Basecamp, but just like we just didn't really have honest players in upfront players, you know. So what happened was Brett called me. Jonathan called me and said, "Look, man, I can't get in touch with Devon Bell, and this guy, I forgot his name, about the thing. I was the one who introduced those two about the thing. This guy took out a loan and everything, and he's ready for Devon Bell to start financing these kiosks. He got like around 20 stores that's ready to put these kiosks in there, you know, with people vending machines that people can buy beauty products and everything.
Right.
We got everything lined up and everything. Where's Devon Bell? And then we go back to they finally get in touch with Devon Bell, and he said, well, you know, he said, look, man, you told us by this day we're gonna have this, we're gonna be here, blah blah blah. This and then it got to the point where the guy talked about he's suing Devon Bell and all stuff like that. And I asked Jonathan, well, did you get any money? What happened to that oil thing that's supposed to be happening last week? He said, I don't know. Every time I did that, Devon threw something else in my face saying, let's work on this. And so I want to go working on that and everything. And the black guy was like, yo, look, man, don't waste my time, whatever like that. Just say, okay. And the Devon Bell, he said he wanted to see Devon Bell's assets before he went with him. And Devon Bell told us that he had $500 million in assets. You know, he said
how much?
$500 million in assets.
Let me ask you, did you take time out to verify this?
Well, like I said, exaggeration is the child of enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. I was an enthusiast. I had our brother Thomas telling me the whole time, look, Kyle, that don't sound right. That don't sound right. I know you're a good person. I had Minister Dawood contributing to
shout out to Dawood as well. Dawood's in the chat room. Shout out to Minister.
Yeah, Dawood knows what I'm talking about, because basically I had him. I don't mean to put his business out there, but I had him in there contributing to the spiral fund. It was something I believed in, and most people when they hear me, they basically know that I'm telling the truth as best I can. My whole goal right now in life is if I don't know firsthand about something, if I don't see everything in the paperwork, the money, everything, I'm not supporting it.
Mm.
Because I've been through that. I've seen people lose money and stuff like that. And I said, I'm not going to be that anymore. So therefore, that's exactly what happened. And so therefore, what happened was it starts spiraling out of control. Then he brings in this lady, this older black lady. She's like in her 60s, 70s, older lady, Miss Green, whatnot. And she comes in there. She's one of these boule types. She comes in and her and Devon Bell are going out to lunch and wine and dining. Every time I talk to Devon Bell, they're having steak and lobster in Las Vegas. They're at the casino and everything like that. And I'm saying, yeah, we're over here like that. And I'm like, you guys traveling, you're going on trips overseas and everything like that. And you started with me. You
Right.
started with me.
Right.
And now then he brings all females around him. That's another thing. He brought all females
Oh,
around him. You know, so all the females were like, "Yo, y'all need to get in line. Y'all need to be like Devon Bell and not stop complaining, be a man, all stuff like that." And then this lady, Miss Green, she starts sending us these nasty emails like, "Well, you guys need to blah blah blah." I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not getting paid a dime. None of us get. At first, I thought these Brett and all were getting paid, right? So I said, if they're not paying anybody and we're doing all this work, why is she talking to us like this?
Right.
You know? And so the bottom line is, I said to myself, and I was like this. Then what happened was Devon Bell and Jonathan got into it. Jonathan called him a liar, blah blah blah, and Jonathan wrote this long letter to Miss Green, right? She was like saying, "Well, why are you acting like this, blah blah." And I got the letter, so email. I'll send it to you, Dinus, when I get the time. Still got the letter.
Mm-hmm.
And the bottom line,
Hey,
he
guys,
basically
excuse me. For some reason, I got the hiccups. I'm gonna get some water in a second, but go ahead, Colin.
So she was basically saying, you guys are no good, blah blah blah. Talking to us like niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I said, first of all these guys, Brett and all these guys are highly college educated. He's a businessman and everything like that. How is it she gonna talk to us other than the fact that maybe Devon Bell was putting something in her head about us? Oh, we got them out there doing all leg work and everything. We're bringing them all stuff like that. So finally, Brett said, you know something, I'm gonna basically quit this and everything and form my own Black. And then he formed Black Wall Street 2.0. Within a week, he had a nice website up. And then he said that he was going to join forces with the BAIO, the new organization, the BAIO at the time. We're going to be the nationalist organization. I said, what we need to do is have a business organization and a nationalist organization working together. And so the BAIO was new at that time. BAIO was new at that time. So we formed a partnership, and all of us became friends and everything like that. All the people, all up and all, Brett, all became friends and everything. And I don't know what happened with the Black Wall Street 2, but I know these guys are successful right now. So that kind of withered away too. Because of the thing. Then Devon Bell calls me and says, "I just need to know, are you in or out?" He goes, "Are you in or out?" And I said, "Well, I'll have to think about it, right?" I'll think about it. And then he was like, "Okay, well, think about it." Well, a week later, I canceled my Spiral funding account. I canceled my Spiral funding account. I went to my bank and I was contributing like $20, $30 a month. I remember at the time. And I went to my bank and put a block on it, right? And then I guess he knew after that, a couple months after that, he knew, okay, Kyle's out. I continued on for a few months after everybody else left. And then I don't know what happened and everything like that, but if it was so strong, it would have succeeded without me. After he started coming on my radio show and doing shows and everything, it began quieting it down. And so basically, the Spiral, and he had a lot of people still in Spiral funding. I don't know if the people, I didn't put out a message on my show denouncing Spiral funding. I just said, look, I wish him a lot of luck, whatever like that, because I'm still that thing. Well, I think he's doing the best for the community. So the bottom line is, I'm not going to tell anybody to stop contributing and everything. We just walked away.
Mm-hmm.
We were professional about it. We just walked away. It was not for us and everything. And I began focusing more. I began full time working with the BAIO. After that, but the whole thing was this. Had we demanded to have brick and mortar, and another thing, what happened was this. One of the people that we had as investors, that came to me on my radio show and says, I want to be involved with the Kemetic pipeline, right?
Right.
And he actually went to the address, the building in L.A., wherever this was nice area of Los Angeles. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know in Los Angeles, but whatever this was, it was looked real nice. And so what this guy did was he went to the building looking for Devon Bell, and they said there's no Kemetic pipeline here. You
Oh
know,
wow.
and
No
then
wow.
Devon Bell called me up and said, "Well, this is what happened, Colin. We was there, but we had to move our office over here, blah blah blah. And the office he had was some little rundown place. But the building said, yeah, we was going to move in there and everything. I think he said he moved in for a week, but they had to move out because they had to renovate something and everything. So we are right here till they get our new office up and running and whatnot because they're renovating and everything. It was just back and forth for a bunch of bullshit. And so I basically said to myself, man, I'm an honest man, you know. And my problem is I assume that when I'm working with people, what I'm saying, I
That,
work with
that, that they'll be honest and transparent too.
yeah, you think they're gonna do the same thing to you.
Right.
It would be the same thing with you. And then I saw this one Facebook post where this girl it was Devon Bell's birthday, and this girl said, Devon, I love you, this, that, thing. I know a lot of people consider you the devil. And I'm like, whoa. So in other words, basically,
You
uh,
got played. You got played by the devil. Shout out to Gregory Wyatt for the super
yeah,
chat.
so I was like, wow, man. I was like, wow. That was just like, I know some people think you're the devil, you're a liar, but I think you're a beautiful person, blah, blah, blah. Good luck with what you're doing. I'm like, wow. I was just shocked when I heard that. I was like, well, I said, man, can I have been fucking fooled all this time? Could I have been had? And basically I was just like really, really upset. And it really turned me off from any movement involving money.
Right.
Any movement involving money, organization, until you have it so that you can really give people tangible results and tangible things and everything. I'm like, don't ask for anybody for public money. Now, if you do it, that's fine. Now, some people will say, I do online platform, I give people entertainment. That's good. You at least you're admitting that. You say, okay, like O'Shea. O'Shea does a lot of stuff. He has a manosphere, he got a website and everything like that. And you get addicted to a show. So
Right.
I contribute to a super chat because I like the content.
Right.
We bring people together, and to me, if I'm sitting there getting entertained, I should pay for it. That's why I super chat.
Right.
If I listen to your show when I feel guilty if I'm listening to your show, you're providing content, and I'm not paying for it, contributing. When I'm like, wow, what did I say about
Michelle Niarco, thank you for the super chat. All right, go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead, Colin.
So therefore, I said like this. Okay, that's good. If somebody wants to super chat, you want to make a living off YouTube, that's fine. You want to make a living online, but don't tell people you're trying to build something or you're trying to do something, right? And it's all based online,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't believe it anymore. You have to have something physical, tangible, and concrete in the process of what you're trying to do. And so, getting back to Umar Johnson, now,
First of all, how can I say it? I support the brother Umar Johnson. I just hope his heart's in the right place.
With all his faults, I know he means well. But it said the road to hell is paved with good. I don't think Umar Johnson's malicious. I just think we don't have the infrastructure in place in Black America, the social infrastructure.
Hey, Colin, keep talking. I'm gonna get some water real quick.
Okay, good.
Keep talking.
I just don't think we have this social infrastructure in place right now for Umar Johnson. We're just not there yet, and so therefore the man got to eat. I understand he got to make a living. He got to make a living. So the bottom line, instead of being upfront and honest about what you're trying to do, Michelle Narco said, "You want to ask a question? Hey, what's your question? What you want to ask? You want to ask me a question? Go ahead." So you go. How the hell are you gonna start an army, my brother, without your own land to protect? What do you? Army protects land. Army protects infrastructure. The army protects people and property. We have nothing to protect here. We're not anything like that. Like I said, If people are serious about having an army and everything like that, you would get serious about one day having our own land. You can't have an army without a land to defend yourself with. That's the basis of having an army. You know, that's ridiculous. When people say something like, "Oh, we'll create an army," that's another internet nonsense and everything that goes nowhere. It's all talk. It's all trolling nonsense talk that I'm getting tired of hearing about. Yeah, we're gonna rise up. We're gonna create our own army. We're gonna do all this. Negro, sit down and go ahead and go to the convenience store and get yourself a sandwich. You know, I'm here to freaking tell from now on, I am not hearing anybody else's bullshit. It's bullshit on whole wheat toast with a side of fries. That's what all this freaking talk is. You know, we're in captivity. You know, we're in captivity. If we won the army, we would have left this country generations ago. We decided to stay here, so this is the end result of that bad, poor decision. And so, like I said, I am not co-signing anything that does not deal with a nationhood endgame. A nationhood endgame would mean that you will have an army, you will have all that stuff you claim you want. You know, if you want to know my plan, go on the BAIO and look at the about section. I know it's hard for people to read, you know, but take a few seconds, right? Let that swirl in your dome piece a little bit and understand what I'm talking about. So all this nonsense. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go to our social network site. That'll tell you what I'm talking about. There ain't no shortcuts. There ain't no friggin' there's no shortcuts. There's no half-ass solutions and everything. The end game is nationhood. If you don't want to have a nation and everything like that, then leave the people alone. Stop wasting their time. Because my job right now is to get rid of these internet movements. They're in the way. If I have to friggin' debate everybody and get them, shut them down, and when I humiliate them, I'll do it. But bottom line is, if you don't have an end game for people, then stay out of their life. I had one so-called black nationalist on Twitter, right? Was talking about, I don't know what he was talking about. He was talking about black people in the joining the military and joining white man's institutions. And a young sister said, "Well, wait a minute. Do you have an alternative for them? Do you have a job for them? Do you have a place for them to go? If they're gonna basically not participate in America or not, do you got a place for them to go?" No, that is the point, brother. What is the goddamn point? Hey, what's going on, Ron? Come on in, brother. Got my brother Ron in. I'm doing the show right now. I'm starting a little early, brother. Oh, okay. All right, man. Well, this is Ron from the BAIO. Hey. You know saying? My partner, you want to sit right there, brother? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. So the bottom line is, if you don't have anything tangible to offer anybody, then sit down and shut up and let us, the ones that's planning to build something tangible, let us get in charge. You know, let us do our thing. So I have Ron in the background saying, "Ron, what you saying, Don?"
Hey, peace, brother.
Yeah. Showing up. So that's what. So therefore, like I said, I left that movement and everything like that, and I'm really wary about getting involved with social network based or internet based organizations. Mm-hmm. You know, because I just seen too many. Because online you could be anything you want. You could say that you're a doctor. You could say you're anything you want.
Anything you want.
Anything you want. You could be anything you want. You know, you could say anything you want. And the bottom line is that not most of the time, like I said, you're an enthusiast, right? And like
you're a certified nutritionist, and you know by drinking kale juice every hour you could detoxify your third eye, detoxify your third eye,
your third eye
by drinking
your third eye
kale and cabbage juice, brother. You will detoxify your third eye.
Yeah, and people get up there, man. People get up there with their little
and brother, you see the woman is not supposed to have a period. See, the
Yeah,
period
remember that?
comes from, see, the period comes from the caves of Europe, brother. Because see, the European, see, his woman was having periods, and so the sisters ain't supposed to have periods. So in order for the sisters not to have periods, they drink a half a gallon of alkaline water mixed with some kale juice and drink that every 4 to 5 hours, brother. And then the sister will go back to her glory, and she will not have
Yeah.
any periods, brother. That's not
Yeah, it's
natural.
hilarious, man. It'd be funny if it wasn't so sad, you know. That's hilarious, man. And now that people talk about we gotta get an army, we're gonna rise up one night. You're gonna get an army, all your organizations on the internet and everything. You're putting out all your business online and everything like that. But you're gonna rise up one night, you know. And just that thing, man, I'm gonna rise up one night.
You're gonna get an army and you're gonna go ask the white man to give me my ammunition and give me my weapon.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to get an army, but I'm gonna apply for this grant online and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, yeah, it'd be sad. Like I said, white people. One thing about white people is this: they got organizations and everything. They always can go back to being white. Us is do or die. So when you mislead people and take energy out of people and everything like that, that is so disingenuous. If you have an online platform and you're misleading people and you're not really serious and everything, that is so freaking dangerous. It's so freaking dangerous. And so, like I said, the reason, purpose of this topic tonight was the fact that I just think that it's like a telltale moment for Black America. We got people out there giving misleading information. Like, let me give you examples. I'll say something right now. A lot of people are going to agree with me. I really don't give a damn who you vote for in this next election.
Well, I'm the same way. I could care less.
Yeah, I could care less, right? But get this. The Asian American Caucus, right, met with Donald Trump last week.
Right.
And those enterprise zones he wanted to get with the Congressional Black Caucus and talk about and everything.
Right.
The Asians, right, who are one of the successful groups in America, are getting grants, loans, and enterprise government contracts in the billions, right? Because the Asian community simply said, the hell with being Democrats, the hell with this. I'm going to just sit down with who's going to bring the bake home us. No, but we got online people now and everything like that. It's always the same old. So what's your end game? Are you trying to help the Black community? I'm going to tell you right now, if you live in Chicago, you live in Baltimore, you live in Detroit, you are fucked. You are fucked. Your political establishment is not going to do anything to help you. Why? Because they need you to say, oh, look, man, we had Trump here. He didn't do nothing. Well, Barack Obama got a pass for 8 years, even though I know the Republicans were obstructing everything, right? But the thing is, if you have a president now, if you're serious about doing something, you better get that money. But you don't want to do that because you're thinking about 2020. You're thinking about yourself. You think about your kids getting appointed to a thing like Joe Biden's son. His son got appointed to $1 billion corporation with no qualifications. $1 billion company in China with no qualifications.
I thought Joe Biden. No, I thought Joe Biden's son OD'd.
No, that was his other son.
Okay.
That was his other son. I believe. And so, yeah, his other son. Other son.
Shout out to Stephen Shore for the super chat, brother. Thank you so much for super chatting.
Hugo says, how far are you going to be? I think we're going really well. The part of the BAO as far as leadership is managing expectations. If we manage expectations, there's things we got to work out in the BAO, but I think we're on the right track. We have to manage expectations. That's what Ronald and I discussed.
Here we go, Kyle. All right, here we go. You guys should do the etymology for the word black so you can get a clue. You guys really need to edify yourself. Well, see, brother, see, we is not really black, brother. See, we is copper colored, brother. We are the copper colored.
That's another. You can make
anything. See, brother, if you look at my color in the statue of the Olmecs, brother, see, it's not black, brother. It's copper colored. See, we is copper colored moles, brother. We not black. So see, the word Africa, brother, comes from Scorpius africanus, brother. And so, therefore, how can we
Your
be?
name
See,
is
we're not truly black, brother. Are you black as this Samsung Note 9, brother? Are you this color, brother? Are you this color? See, we need to stop that, brother, and come to our true selves. We's not black, brother. We are copper colored
We're copper
from Turtle
Aboriginal
Island.
people.
Turtle Island.
You chase out the copper original people who was sent to Africa, and then we came back here, but we're really Native Americans and all this kind of
Yeah.
nonsense. And you have people actually believe it. You know, you have people actually believe in this nonsense.
Yeah.
You know why? Because they got a website. That's what I said. I believe in the future, right? If I had it in my power, if you're online posting nonsense and everything that's unsubstantiated, fact that's not peer reviewed, verified, you should be arrested for fraud, for academic fraud.
Right.
You know? Now, for example, right? The Mo movement, the Moors, right?
The
Now you
mole.
see
The
the courtroom,
mole.
right? Where the Moor was like, look, you know, the one Moor, the one guy, black guy, the guy was black as he ate spades. He was talking, he told the cop, this is my indigenous land. You know what I'm saying? And the cop back up, I'm a Moor. See, I got my paper. The dude had paper cut out license plates and everything. He's like, this, that, like that. Like, and you got people out there challenging cops talking about, you have no right to pull me over or not. According to some treaty of 18 something and whatnot, 17 something,
Yeah.
I can travel anywhere in the United States and whatnot as a sovereign citizen, blah, blah, blah. You got people doing this because why? Because they saw something online, they saw something on the internet, and people are being beguiled into these fly by night nonsense organizations, you know, that do absolutely nothing but mislead people. But the bottom line is this: nobody's ever gone broke misleading black people. You know, never playing black people for fools is nothing new, nothing different. It's been going on since the time of the world. Black America has always had charlatans. We had how many people came through here? We had Daddy Grace, remember? Father Divine. We had all these people came through Black America.
You know, by John Johnson, the founder of Ebony Magazine, his sister got caught up with Father Divine and pretty much like disappeared.
Yeah, there's all kinds of chicanery going on. Daddy Grace, when I was a kid in school in South Jamaica, Queens, we had Daddy Grace children on the school buses. They would sing songs like, I never forget it. Oh, Daddy Grace, oh, Daddy Grace, oh, Daddy Grace, oh, that. I'm like, what's that? Wow, what's that? Good? Oh, he's a preacher in Harlem. Whatnot. My mother said she used to go see him when she was a girl. You know, they had the biggest fairs. You know, parade. Daddy Grace was here in Norfolk, Virginia too. Yeah, he was right. Yeah, he was in Norfolk, Virginia. You know, at one time. You know, and so you had Daddy Grace, Father Divine, all these other people that came through Black America. You know, and the bottom line, the community's still the same. You know, we black people love it, and the internet is making this work because now we got all these other Daddy Graces and Father Divines on the internet. You know, and so we like I said, I don't know what it's going to take. Maybe it needs to be federal legislation to shut down some of these Negro stalling tactics and these Negro organizations that's misleading people. You know?
Oh, here that. See, brother, America is really Israel. See,
oh yeah.
America is
Yeah.
Israel.
It's just sad. It's sad. Like I said, the bottom line is the internet is the death of black organization. Why? And you know what gets me is this. This one kills me more than anything else. Is when people insist that they are going to try to make me a part of their fuckery and their bullshit, you know? Okay, I don't agree with you. Okay, let's agree to disagree. No, Colin, I think you need to come on here and we could collaborate on it. We ain't gonna collaborate on nothing, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If I think your shit is your bullshit, you're talking bullshit and everything, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm not gonna co-sign you and validate you and tell you what you're doing is right. You know, and hey Rizza, your end game is to go to the state of Israel as already developed, kick all the white Jews out, and you're gonna have a black Jewish state. You know what I'm saying? Yo, all you niggas.
I gotta go to Israel. Remember, America is Israel.
Oh yeah. Any place in Israel, they can go. Any place where there's welfare and free stuff and everything, where they can live their bullshit life is Israel. You know.
Hey, Carl, let me play this
So,
video. Carl, let me play this. Let me play this video. Hold on. Let me share the screen real quick, Carl. Hold on. I gotta play this, bro. This is by far my most favorite. See, brother, I am a sovereign Moor, copper color Moor, and I have indigenous.
that one in the jail.
Hold on, Carl. Let me play.
That one in the court. That's the funniest one. We got to play that one.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
I'm
this
playing it right now.
This is what I'll talk about. This is the future of Black American organization.
Hold on.
Geronimo. Hey, can you turn up, Dinus? You can't hear it.
Hey, I'm trying to turn it up, man. It's not as loud as it go. Hey. Hold on. Oh, this is boy in the background. Geronimo Bay. Hold on. I'm trying not to laugh. Hold on. On behalf of the Murphy matter.
He is Murphy, but he's like going in the third person.
The judge has abandoned ship. Okay. Let's just play through. He has proof that he is not Andre Murphy.
I'm not Andre Murphy. Then the guy says Dre.
I need cash number. Geronimo, don't resist. He's not resisting. He's not your property to touch. He's not your property to touch. Oh my God. Choking him. Which officer? Which policy enforcer? Which policy enforcer? I mean, I don't understand. Hold on. I will have your badge. I am able to record it. It's being recorded. Anybody touch me?
I love that. You've been recorded.
I'm a private American national. I mean, Carlo. I mean, why do these people think they're just gonna undercut and you know just racism? Like, I mean, I'm a private national. Like, help me out, Carlo. Help me out.
Yeah. You want to take the screen thing off?
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole thing is like I said. I want to talk about this. Something brief. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, right? As far as like this is concerned, there's this culture in Black America, particularly in the North. That's where the Moorish Science Temple started and all stuff like that. I call it the Alibaba culture, Negro culture. You know, there was a time in the 1800s, right? 1800s, when it was clear that if you're Black, you weren't a citizen of America for the most part. Some states like Massachusetts gave Black people rights and everything. But it was all based on what you look like, what you look like. There was a lot of Black people who were lighter skinned or whatever like that, found that if they put a turban on their head, and everything, they could be confused for an Ethiopian or a Sudanese or Indian or Hindu or whatever like that. And this one guy did that. He was an escaped slave, and he put a turban on his head and passed himself off and traveled to the United States, posed as a Hindu doctor, And so therefore, a lot of these groups was built around that. We ain't Africans, you know what I'm saying? That's where the whole we ain't Africans come from. It's to basically, it's not to out of any love for being Black or anything like that. It's to basically to get white people to love and respect them. That's why they want to claim Egypt. You don't see Black people, the same people claiming West Africa. You never say, I'm a descendant of Mansa Musa. You never see them say, I'm a descendant of the Ashanti warriors. You never say it. It's always Egypt or the Moors or North Africa and everything. Why? Because they think that somehow that's better than being Black African. You know,
Right.
and like I said, these groups. I thought, I thought this. Like I said, and I hate to say this, I thought that with the internet, I thought when I first saw social media and I saw the internet and I saw camera phones, and I said, well, finally we're gonna be able to put our own images out there to the world and everything. Little did I know that the majority of black people who live normal day-to-day lives like us and everything, we don't put our business on the internet. Who puts this up on the internet? The loudest black people, the people who do fuckery, whether it's conscious or criminal or just rugged. Those are the people that end up on World Star Hip Hop and everything. But I see black people all the time doing normal things, taking the kids to soccer practice, and blah blah blah. That never gets on social media. You know, what gets on social media is the ignorant. Black people love posting ignorant stuff online.
World Star.
And it's damaging the social thing. That's why I said when you have an organization, the best thing to do is have close contacts with you. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because you see how each other lives. You see each other. What happens is if you keep listening to social media, you will turn against black people. I'm telling you, I don't give a damn. And don't tell me how pro-black and how much you love black people by this, that, the other thing. When you see this, the fuckery that's online and everything, sometimes you basically become apprehensive and want to throw your hands up and say it's all a lost cause. That's why you have to always be with like-minded people and keep yourself, and that reassures you and thing. Because bottom line is, when social media goes off on that, you don't know what anybody's doing in their personal life. They could be the ones out there doing fuckery and everything, you know?
Right.
So therefore, like I said, the old school of having a organization where people are meeting up, doing things local and everything, is still the best option. Now, you can use the internet. Remind people this: the internet is good as a supplemental and an enhancer of what you're trying to do. But when that's the only thing you're trying to do, I'm sorry, that does not work. And that's where I think we're at right now, as far as like any sort of black organization. That's why people are like, well, why is it nobody think? Okay, we have Black Lives Matter. I warned people years ago that was nothing. It was gonna fizzle out and die. And what happened? It fizzled out and died. You know, what was the manifesto? Brother Ron read the manifesto, you know, of the Black Lives Matter, you know. And people are like, oh, geez,
that's another group.
Yeah.
They didn't took all the money. Your boy D-Ray got book deals, and they didn't took all the money and dip.
Yeah, took all the money and dip. These women look like $1 million now, you know, because they're in there with that, they're getting that white liberal money, you know.
Right.
And the whole thing is now they got to deliver. They got to deliver the black community to the Democratic polls, absent anything tangible that they're going to give it. So the bottom line, this is the future of Black America, folks. You know, you are never going to have anything tangible. Why? Because since the 1960s, right, Ron, the Democrats have been wrestling with the problem of how to bring in black voters without alienating white voters. And they couldn't do it. You know, by the 80s, white people were Reagan Democrats. Remember that?
Right.
They went on the Republican Party, you know? And now look at the Democratic Party. It's losing the black community. You know? I look at the online magazines like The Griot. They talk about that Courtney Cox about transgenderism and all kind of nonsense. So you don't even have black Ebony magazine. Only thing they talk about now is interracial marriage and transgender. Online, it's going to be a time we're going to have to freaking tear up. Everybody's going to have to quit their Facebook and Twitter accounts and everything like that, because all thing that's flooding us was garbage. I thought we would have a community. Well, once we get the power of the internet, brother, we're going to do this. I haven't seen a goddamn thing, you know what I'm saying? Other than when somebody get that secret meeting, hey, you know, you got a nice following there. And then next thing you know, they start saying the same fuckery, you know, spewing the same talking points that the mainstream leftists or right-wing people want you to do. There's nothing black anymore in any online platforms or anything as far as engaging the American political system. And so the people now decide to become black conservatives and join the right-wing talking points, or they're joining the left-wing talking points. You know, there's no black agenda. You know, we let them get away.
Nicola, it's off topic, but your boy Jesse Smollett, his case records are gonna be unsealed. What does that mean, actually?
Well, I think that
means public, but you know, like how I mean, how's that? What kind of impact can that make?
Well, the whole thing was this with that Smollett case, and then also what it made what made the black community look bad, right? And I'm like I said, I just buried my head. Here you got the prosecutor, right, who's prosecuting another girl on the same thing, made a false rape, false allegation, right, and prosecuting, right. But yet she let this guy off, right, because she's friends with Michelle Obama and all the stuff like that. They got away with that, right? And then Carl said, "What you get? You want look?" Bottom line is this: I know everything comes back to black. And bottom line is, when you're a black person in the public office and everything like that, you're not just a ordinary prosecutor who they use your discretion. They're always going to use that to say, see what happens when you got black people. Even though white people let judges and everything, but we can't do that. We can't do what they do. Have you figured out that we live in America? You know, what one black person does makes it hard for the next black person. It's not like that with white people. That's why you have to do it different. When she did that, now she put her career in jeopardy because they're investigating her. You know, and it's gonna make it hard for black prosecutors. And then on that, how can you have prosecution where the majority of the community is doing so bad, and when they think the prosecution and the police are the enemy? Look at Bobby Rush, what he said. He said that the police union is the enemy of black people. I'm like, wow, people put their lives on the line, take bullets and everything, patrol the community. They mean tell me all those black officers are the enemy too? That's another thing. Black America we do not like authority. We do not like authority, and rightfully so sometimes because we were brought here against our will. That's the key right there. Black people are not in a situation where we control our own social, economic, and we're not at peace with America. That's why it's hard to get black people on the side of the police. But I will tell you something. What happened in Norfolk, Virginia? You hear about that case with a 13-year-old boy I was telling you about that killed?
Yeah.
Okay, they arrested the 18-year-old dude from some thug today, right? They arrested him right when I incident today. But the thing is about that is the community in Young's Park, and I put that on Facebook. I had to applaud them because that's like the poorest community in our region. You know, Young's Park, good people living there. I did an event there last year. Good people living there. You know, good people live in those poor communities. Why not? And people want to make it seem like all the community hate the police. People came forward and turned this guy in. So people want to get up on the internet and they speak for the majority of black people. Majority of black people are tired of crime.
Right.
They're tired of drugs. They're tired of drugs. They're tired of hearing gunshots every night and everything like that. And I stand with those black people. If you don't and whatnot, then get the hell off the saying and whatnot and let me do it. Because the bottom line is this: black people are hurting right now. They live in terror and fear. We had a 16-year-old girl that got shot the other day. Shot there. What the hell does a 16-year-old girl have to fight for her life? But she should be going to her prom, getting ready for her prom. She should be getting ready for her Sweet 16 and all the stuff like that. But yet, but because she's black and whatnot, it's okay to sit there and just turn, oh yeah, that's what it. But if she got shot by a cop, then everybody's so-called act of outrage. This is why we're in the situation we're in right now. We have no consistency. And like I said, the internet allows people to get up here and grandstand and do all stuff like that. And the bottom line is this: our people are suffering. Our people are suffering right now, suffering police brutality, black on black crime, poverty, all these things and whatnot. And the spirit of black people is starting to be broken down. So when you come to our community, be real with them. Be real with them. Like I said, I learned from the past. I learned from my mistakes and everything. I had a heart of gold. I thought I was doing the right thing with the Kemetic pipeline and all that and everything. And I learned it was too late. I thought if anything's too good to be true, it probably is. So, like I said, Black America has changed. I don't know what it is. Like I said, I thought that I used to hear this thing called "Too Black, Too Strong." Remember that, brother?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Too Black, Too Strong.
I remember.
I'm realizing just how weak we are as a people. I thought we were strong. You know what I'm saying? I really thought we were strong as black people. You know, maybe the years of slavery and Jim Crow and everything, and this psychological presence of the white man, maybe it's taking a toll on us, and we've given up. You know, and we just submit to anything. There's a latest situation down there in Georgia where a mayor openly said, we're not ready to hire a black person. 2019, we're not ready to hire a fucking black person.
Right.
You know, and they can get away with this stuff. They can do whatever they want to us. They can say whatever they want to us. And all we say is, oh, don't be bad. They can go off on racist rants. There's no repercussions. But let another black person say something to you or not. You ready to rear up and kill,
rise up.
rise up and whatnot. When another black person says something to you, whatnot, you ready to kill and this and the other thing, and everybody sits back and thinks it's funny and laughing. But white people say whatever they want to you and everything, get away with that and everything like that. But one thing about I'll tell you about here in Virginia, right?
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I like about black people in Virginia, these are some addictive black people. You know what I'm saying? And they go like that, like those couple of cops there in Northern Virginia found out they were part of the white nationalist group. They're gone. And as black people say, no, they ain't having it. You know what I'm saying? So talk what you want about Virginia. Down here, we ain't having that shit. The mayor, I know the mayor. I met the mayor the other day. Hey, man, whatever you need, man, let's talk about this, man. I want to see the minorities and whatnot. He got one that got the Pharrell concert here. You know, they know we got numbers here. And we'll come after that ass. And we will cops. They're on their pieces because they don't just do that shit out here. You know, that police brutality. There's too many black people here. And too many black people and professionals in positions of power. They know that got to deal with. And I know the white people here are uncomfortable with this many black people here. And there's many black people here that's doing well. So the bottom line is that's what it is. Like I said, I want to start doing things locally and be in the public eye and stuff like that. And, you know, do things tangibly slow, and now gradually will trickle over into what we're trying to do with the organization and everything. But the bottom line is the internet only. No, we have to do things right. We have to manage expectations. You know, if you can't do something, say no. Okay, we're not there yet. You know, be honest with people. You know, like I tell Hugo, I got to manage expectations. I'm not gonna tell you, oh yeah, we got this plan all set up and everything. No, we don't have it like that yet. You know, we're working towards that. You know, we're working towards that. If you come in, participate with us and everything, it can make it even faster. You know, come in, help join us and see where you get in, where you fit in. It'll make it faster. But if you don't, then the bottom line is, hey, you know, just sit back and look at our snail pace. But I'm not going to lie to people and tell people we're here when we're really there. You know, and that's what a lot of people do. You know, and even though I know in my heart I could probably get away with it too. I know if I really wanted to, I could be sitting here taking people's money and living large right now if I was that type of person. I know I got that influence. I did it with the community pipeline. You know, even though I didn't see a dime, you know, I thought it was for a worthy cause. You know, but the bottom line is there's something in me that says, no, you can't do it like that. I'll never betray my people like that. So,
Colin, what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out, brother. Anything else you want to share in closing?
Oh yeah, just
BIO.
Yeah, join the BAO, please.
Link in the chat room.
Tell us when you join the BAO. I would like people to join and go in their local chapters and try to reach out to local people and form your own local study group. Meet at a place. Meet at a library. You can take meet at a library. You can rent out a space in the library for an hour for $10 for 2 hours. You know, meet at a place. Go out to lunch. Develop friendships and bonds. If you believe in this and believe in this mission, develop friends and buddy. Go out to dinner. You know, go out to the movies. You know, have a study group. Whatever. Socialization. Become friends. And that's what you join the local chapter and everything. If you want to form a local chapter thing, all we ask you, just don't use the BL name. Just form your own what you're going to do in your local activities. Post some of your activities to the Ning site. Tell people it, and that gets the enthusiasm up. You know why? Because people know you're not really exaggerating. You're saying, okay, we're doing this. We have meetings here. We all went out to a movie. We had our BL T-shirts on. We all went to the movie. That's good. That shows socialization. And bottom line, in the age of the internet, and I read this before, not just Black America, the people are dying because people are spending too much time in front of the TV, in front of the computer. Mm-hmm. They're not getting out there, mingling and meeting people, you know, and talking to people and fellowship with them. We have to get to that, back to that. You know, we have to get back to that point. If we're not going to get back to that point, then we're not going anywhere as a people. Because right now, the internet, I thought because Black people used to love the social. Then again, socialization is hard because violence. You saw what happened in Chesapeake Jubilee, right? You know, a big brawl broke out with teenage Black girls. You know, but we had the fairs, like the carnivals that come here in Virginia Beach and everything. Guy gets shut down because gangs show up. You know, the social fabric of Black Americans die. We're not the community was 20 years ago, where you can say, okay, let's go out and everything. People fear something happening when there's large gatherings of Black people. You know, and it's not the majority of Black people, it's just a few idiots. We have to know how to separate ourselves from the idiots, but we can't stop them because we have no power. What can we do? You know? They're always there. You know, they show up, you know, and nobody invited them, but they're showing up. And next thing you know, they're not fellowshipping in what you're trying to do. Let's say you're doing an African Fest, whatever. They're not getting there and learning the culture and everything like that. We had Afro Fest here years ago. Negroes, if you don't know Afro was the biggest Black event on the East Coast. It stopped in 2010, you know, because hip hop got in there, Clear Channel Records got in there, and all kinds of nonsense. They started bringing all that. But it was people coming from all over. People coming far away. We had vendors as far away as Ghana was there. Everybody from the East Coast was coming in. Everybody, I mean, you want to see the most beautiful women in your life, and everybody having a good time. They had the stage out there on the waterfront and everything, in Norfolk and everything. I used to go every year. If I didn't go to New York for Memorial Day, I would go there. Now, this is Memorial Day coming up, and there's no Afro Fest. You know, no Afro Fest. You know, niggas destroy everything. I think we still got the Emoja Festival, right? Well, City of Portland still recognized Emoja. That was on Labor Day weekend. But I don't think we have a Emoja Festival this year.
We do. It's small.
It's small, you know? So the bottom line is this. Don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. You cannot keep losing events and Black people not socializing and fellowship and everything. That's an experience. When you go to a Emoja Festival, you see all these sisters dressed in African garbs and stuff like that. That does something to you. When you go to Afro Fest, you see college kids, older people, young people, everybody dancing out there, stuff like that. You got all the food out there, the vendors and everything like that. Streets are all blocked off. You got and people on the waterfront, on the pier, on the Spirit of Norfolk ship riding by and everything. Everybody's laughing and whatnot to the wee hours of the night and everything. That does something to you. People, when you do that, my biggest experience and why I'm a nationalist and everything actually came from when I used to go to a church a rally in Anthony Wayne Park in upstate New York, New Jersey. I used to go there, and there used to be like hundreds, thousands of girls, young girls. I was like, wow, I love being around my people. You know, whether they're Christian, Muslim, I used to go to Muslim things, you know. I said, wow, fellowship. This is fellowship. If you have no sense of fellowship, then you're phony. You know, you cannot build a movement, and the only time you have Black people, the only experience you have Black people is online. You have to have fellowship. And fellowship is vital. Why? Because it reinforces social bonds between people. You know, and we're losing that. Every time you look around, there's a shooting, a killing, and people are like, I ain't going around niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Your own damn people.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kala, brother, thank you. Thank you so much.
I know you're tired, Diane.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I'm still recovering from my jet lag. You know?
I know you are. I know you. Thank you for doing the show tonight. I know you're tired.
Problem, brother. You know, I know we got to catch up, but everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you go to the BAIO name site. All that good stuff, family. Dynasty Mirror, Search for Uhuru. Till next time, family. Peace.
Peace.